I'll record. It says screen share.
Okay, I got it. All right. Can you see this?
Yep, can see it. Can see both you and your slides. So that's perfect.
Okay. All right. Greetings, classmates and those in attendance. Today I'm going to be talking about how COVID-19 has affected the automotive industry, which is a massive industry that provides millions of jobs to people all across the world and generates hundreds of billions of dollars a year. Now, I want to start by stating the obvious. Obviously, COVID-19 has affected people in incredibly negative ways. People are losing their lives, people are losing their jobs, and because of it, demand for cars has plummeted due to many factors. There are regulations keeping people home, businesses and schools are transitioning online, and there's even delivery services for goods allowing individuals to stay home even if they need basic goods. Basically, people are driving far less, so there's far less of a need for cars compared to past years. Now, how much have car sales dropped? Well, experts at the beginning of COVID-19 believed car sales would drop to about a 2007 2008 financial crisis level. Granted, they didn't drop that bad. However, 15% decline in 2020 in an industry this massive is incredibly bad. And this was the fourth largest annual decline in US history since 1980 when it was down 19.1%. And in 2008, 2009, they were down 21.2% following the Great Recession. Now, I want to talk a little bit about car sales in recent years, and I'll explain why. Many manufacturers have been relying far less or far more on leasing vehicles rather than selling them fully. Leasing you allows you to make monthly payments to practically borrow a car, giving you the ability to get in and out of a brand new car every few years where you have a full warranty and you have a good monthly payment. Purchasing is far more profitable for car companies. However, high volumes of leasing has made it very successful in recent years. Now, why am I talking about this? Well, because of COVID-19, it has actually come back to bite the industry as many people are turning in their leases rather than renewing them and getting a new vehicle. People are going down from two cars to one. There's less of a need of a new vehicle as people aren't driving, and there's many losses of jobs and salary cuts, not allowing people to afford new cars. And it's also come back to hurt car shops and dealerships as cars are needing far less repairs as they're not being driven as much. Now, I believe sales is the backbone of the industry. Obviously, you can argue either way that manufacturing is or sales is. However, it's obvious that if one is affected, so is the other. And in this case, there's far less demand for vehicles. So, because of that, manufacturing is affected heavily as there's no reason to mass produce cars if people don't need them as much. Though the aftermarket sales of used cars has gone up, that does not affect or help the industry at all, as it just helps those selling them. And it's also caused a lot of unemployment in the industry, as if you're an engineer or you work at the line on assembly or you work at a car dealership, everyone has been affected by it. And also, manufacturing processes have had to change to adapt to COVID 19 regulations, which are far more costly to keep, which is also causing unemployment. Now, there's also manufacturing issues because of it. Most of the cars you see around you have been produced and assembled in North America. Obviously, some aren't, but parts themselves usually come from overseas as they're far cheaper to produce over here and ship there. Um, and because of the COVID 19, there's shipping issues and parts shortages, which may seem small if a little chip of a car isn't there. However, because of how fragile the chain of command is and the processes, the manufacturing, one shortage of a part like that will actually disrupt the chain for even months of delays. Now, how is the auto industry adapting to the pandemic? Obviously, businesses and industries must adapt to stay relevant and successful. But it is incredibly hard for an industry to adapt to far less demand for the only product they supply. And I believe there's a strong likelihood auto sales will not return to how they were before the pandemic, as more people will keep their employees online in order to cut costs. Now, that isn't to say they aren't trying, but there's manufacturing processes are continuing to increase amounts of automatization, and car sales are transitioning online now, and car dealerships are actually suffering because they have to price their cars as competitively as possible online, because with a simple search, you can see if a car is a good deal or not and match it with hundreds of other cars in your area. Whereas before, car dealerships and salesmen could basically make up a price as before, which is why they kind of have a bad rep. But companies like Carvana are allowing you to buy cars fully online and even have it delivered to your home. In conclusion, the automotive industry, which has been a massive part of the economy across the world, has taken a big hit, and that will likely change how it operates in the future. Though cars are seen as just a tool to get you from point A to B, they are on average the second largest purchase a person makes after their home. This industry provides countless jobs for people that depend on it, and it is in everyone's best interest that it continues that way in the future. Thank you.
And don't forget to ask for questions.
Yeah. Are there any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah.
So I've been tracking like the market change in car, like automotive market, the price change in dealership, like official dealership, like let's say Ford dealership, Nissan dealership, and this one. But I noticed that the change that they made to their prices is very low, like let's say a $500 out of a $30,000 car, which this is not like considers to be like a big of I would say a discount or something, where other like dealership, like not official dealership, are doing much more. So why do you think like that small, I would say, discount has been put in, not like a bigger one?
Well, that's just a thing. Usually they call them rebates at car dealerships to attract people to come in. If you see $500 off, that's actually on a new car, probably kind of a lot compared to other rebates you might get. And it depends on how you're purchasing a vehicle, but there's a lot of different ways you can get discounts, whether if you're leasing, if you're coming out of another lease, they usually give big discounts. But because they're coming from brand new and they're buying it from the manufacturer and delivering it here, they actually have far less wiggle room on the prices these days, as it's also costing more to produce these vehicles and they have to sell them for less because of online. Now, if you're buying a car used, they usually have a lot more wiggle room because you have no idea what they bought them for. They usually buy them at auctions and you don't know the history of them. And because of that, they usually mark up the price a lot and you're able to negotiate them down. Where new dealerships actually do not have that much wiggle room, despite what people say. You know, that you think you can go in and get a couple $1,000s off, but usually that actually will come out of the salesman's pocket, as usually commission on a new vehicle's only a couple $1,000s now.
Good job. Okay, thank you very much. And time.
Thank you.
5:10.
Thank you. Up next is Ibrahim.
Yes.
Max, can you turn off your PowerPoint, please? Stop sharing.
Hello.
Hi, Ibrahim.
Hi. How are you?
Good. Max, can you hear me still?
Yes.
There we go. Thank you.
So I don't know. I'm new to use this.
Ibrahim, you need to click the share screen button at the bottom. And
Okay.
find your presentation. There you go.
Hi everyone. My name is Ibrahim Raji. Today I'm going to talk about changing retail shopping dynamics. Introductions. I need to buy grocery. Oh, it looks like eventually hectic to go to concept stores. How many of you visit retail stores in a month? Not too many. Yeah, it happens, and it happened with me too. But forget it all, as new in-store technology are making the retail store shopping incredible. How many of you are aware of it? I'm a student and a learner. I'm looking to reveal an incredible insight and implications regarding the new retail world. The most interesting thing regarding this presentation topic is marketing. In-store technology has been used by modern retail chains. Structural statements enhance the customer's experience as set functions for better interaction and relationship. The significant thing for all of you is to interact with the modern technology. I have 3 points to discuss. These are the shift in the shopping experience, augmented attraction, and business efficiency. automate or checkout or self-checkout. The automated self-checkout makes customer shopping effective and efficient. The computer vision is helping in establishing without cashier stores. Is it a state-of-the-art technology which change the brick and mortar setting? Raising of robots. A retail chains such as Walmart are using robots for efficient inventory management, as tracking empty shelves is not a problem. And recently, Nova robots are serving customers as shopping carts as they are facilitating shopping. And see, Hema stores in China are in the limelight as the robots are serving the meal to customers. Usage of mobile. Several price tags with products can be linked with the mobile apps as the customers can have a detail on the mobile phone. Firms are using small sensors outside stores as customers get a notification when passing near the stores. And almost 63% of customers are using the cell phone to compare prices, search, offer, and gift coupons. Summarizing, the retail companies have adopted a modern technology, make the businesses process efficient, and change the shopping experience. There is a need to integrate with a complaint in-store technology. The rise of robots using mobile phones and automate or self-checkout. Call to action. Finally, I want all of you to become tech savvy, and collaborations are changing the in-store dynamic for customers, and we want to perceive ourselves as a customers, becoming tech savvy and supporting organization. It's just the beginning, and a lot of is yet to come. Thank you very much.
Good job. Any questions? When I lived in France, and this was about 7 years ago, you could walk into a store, pick up a scanner, and a shopping cart that had a weight in the bottom of it. You go around and you pick your products off the shelf, scan them, and put them in the shopping cart, and you didn't even have to go to the cash at the end.
Yeah, I see that one. There's one in California. I think it's the Amazon shop.
Yeah.
You just go and take whatever you want and go out.
Yeah, this was
automatically that you're paid.
Yeah.
I think there is like a sensor or app in your phone just when you get into the store, and to connect it to your information, to your payment information. Just take whatever you want, then go out.
Yeah.
And yeah.
How long do you think it's going to be until we get those in Canada?
I think it's not too long. Just maybe you can say like maybe 3 to 5 years. It's going to be here in Canada.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Time, please.
You're welcome. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
312.
Okay. Spencer.
Hey, I'm just getting my presentation ready. It's me, Spencer. I'm just using my boss's computer. That's why it says Jesse.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, that should be good. I'm just getting my thing. It timed out up there. It should be. There we go. There we go. Oh no.
Can you just share screen?
No, sorry. Like I have my presentation on my work computer, and then I'm doing the meeting on my boss's, and IT literally just fixed this for us, and I guess it's not working now.
Okay, tell you what, we'll give you a few minutes to try and get it up and running.
Yeah, sorry.
And we'll.
It was literally just working. It must have timed out.
If we'll swing back to you, okay?
Yeah, perfect. Sorry about that.
That's no problem. Okay, Tyler. Tyler,
Yeah.
you're up.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Hello. All right. Just have to share my presentation. Can you see my presentation?
I can see your presentation. Yep, and I can see you.
Nice.
You're good.
All right. On July 28th, 2019, 16-year-old Kyle Giersdorf won $3 million playing Fortnite. Giersdorf was one of hundreds of players competing at the 2019 Fortnite World Cup, earning part of the total $30 million prize pool. And this was just one event. Hi, my name is Tyler Reno. I'm a business and computer science student at the University of Windsor and enjoy competition, making money, and video games. These are all qualities that lend themselves very well to esports. Now, what are esports? I'm sure everyone is familiar with sports such as football or basketball. I'm sure everyone is familiar with professional sports leagues such as the NFL or the NBA. Esports are similar except with video games instead of regular sports, hence the name. The term esports refers to the organized competitive aspect of video games, such as video game tournaments like the Fortnite World Cup. Of course, there are many similar events every year handing out large prize pools, such as the Dota 2 International event, which in 2019 had a $34.3 million prize pool, or the League of Legends World Championship that in 2019 had more than 100 million viewers, which is more than the Super Bowl in 2019. The first esports tournament was organized nearly 50 years ago, with the prize pool and viewership only increasing every year since. There are many reasons why you may consider getting involved in or investing in esports, but I will go over my 3 main reasons. Number 1, video games make a lot of money. In 2020, video games generated $174.9 billion in revenue, with year-on-year growth nearing 20%. Last year, the global sports industry only brought in $73.7 billion in revenue, which is nearly half of the $135.3 billion in revenue that it generated in 2019. Also in 2020, the global esports audience increased 11.7% year-on-year to 495 million people globally. These drastic changes are largely due to the COVID-19 pandemic, which brings me to my second point. COVID-19 pandemic has only helped the esports industry. Since everyone has been stuck at home the past year, we've all been looking for new pastimes and new hobbies to spend some of our newly found free time. Turns out video games are relatively cheap to get into, they're fun, and you can still play them and play them competitively while social distancing. Before the pandemic, large esports events were held mainly in person, but with regulations prohibiting large gatherings of people, the nature of esports has allowed it to continue virtually and still thrive. With esports being catapulted into the mainstream, it's only going to get even bigger after the pandemic, when a return to in-person esports events is underway. Lastly, over the past few years, more and more investment has been flowing into esports, with some of this investment actually coming from traditional sports organizations. In 2018, the NBA launched its NBA 2K League in collaboration with Take-Two Interactive, an entirely virtual esports league with 22 official NBA teams included. In 2013, the North American League of Legends Championship Series was inaugurated. This league features several esports teams directly owned by NBA teams, such as the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Other high-profile investors in esports over the past few years include celebrities such as Will Smith, Michael Jordan, Drake, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Logic, and many more. These very rich and successful people are getting to esports. You should too. In conclusion, esports is a growing and lucrative industry that has only just begun to take off in terms of popularity. Due to the rise in popularity of video games, COVID-19 pandemic, and large amounts of capital investment. Even if you're not into playing video games, investing in esports or starting an esports team can potentially be a very successful investment in the future. If you are into gaming and are not involved in esports, I'd recommend finding a team to play with, as it can make your experience a lot more fun. Here at the university, we have an official esports club. If you want to get involved, I'd recommend staying up to date by following them on Twitter at UWinLancer Gaming or UWin Esports. Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I got a question. What game do you play?
I play Counter-Strike Global Offensive. That's my main game. It's the game I'm best at. I used to play Fortnite, but I really don't like Fortnite anymore. I don't know. I just grew out of that stage.
My kid plays Fortnite. Does that mean he can make me millions of dollars?
If he's good enough, yeah.
That's all he talks about.
Depends on how good he is, really. That's what determines how much money you make.
There's lots of yelling in the basement when he's on Fortnite. So, okay.
Yeah, that happens.
Thank you very much, Tyler. Time.
3:57.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, just touching back with Spencer. Spencer, how goes the tech issue?
Yeah, the TV's not working. I guess what I'll have to do is get onto my work computer and share the screen, I guess.
Okay, so we'll do another presenter and then swing back to you again.
Yeah, that should be perfect. I'm sorry. Like it was literally just working. I got the IT department to come and fix it. And then as soon as I was about to go, I looked over and it timed out.
Yeah, that's no problem. That's technology is the bane of my existence. Okay, yeah. Emmett. We'll go to Emmett Rosati.
Hello, can you see me and hear me? Okay.
When you're ready.
All right, thanks. So one time, my first year of football, after arriving early to the field, I chose to go to the park that was also on premises and play for a bit before my game. Inevitably, because I was a child, I played too long and I was late returning to the field for warm-ups. My team had already begun warming up without me. Hi, I'm Emmett Rosati, and I'll be presenting beneficial life and work qualities that can be gained playing football. The previous story shows how these qualities and skills are important and could have helped me to make a better decision in my situation. The main topics in this presentation will be responsibility, mental fortitude, teamwork, and building your network. First, responsibility. There are many different ways that you can develop your responsibility playing football, whether it's time management, which means showing up to practices and games on time with enough time to properly put on your equipment, or whether it's remembering your equipment. There are many different small and large pieces of equipment that if you forgot even a small piece, you may be not allowed to participate that day. This teaches you to be responsible because you remember your stuff and want to play the sport you love. Another way that you learn to be responsible playing football is through affect and reflect. Everything you do affects other people around you on your team, and it reflects the people around you. So if you choose to be irresponsible and not watch film and not properly prepare for the game, you reflect and affect the people around you negatively. Next, mental fortitude. Whether it's bad weather, a tough loss, or physical conditioning, or physical conditioning or a tough loss in bad weather, worst of all, nobody really likes facing adversity, but adversities are something that happens in everyone's life, and facing adversity in football helps you to develop the skills and tactics to better be prepared to face adversity later in your life. Finally, teamwork. In football, you learn to be a trustworthy member of a team, as well as the trust that your teammates will do their job. Learn to be accountable for your responsibilities and accountable if you happen to make a mistake. You learn great communication skills, being that in football, you have to maintain a steady flow of communication from coaches to players throughout the whole game. You also learn to be a great teammate because you learn it takes a team to succeed. It's not just about yourself, it's about the greater goal of the team. Building your network. So in football, you meet a lot of people who are smart, hardworking, trustworthy people that you share a bond with, and you can go down future endeavors with in your life. In summary, playing football growing up, you can develop a greater sense of responsibility. You can become more mentally strong. You can develop great teamwork skills, and you can build your network so that you have smart people that you trust in your future. If you would like to learn more about the beneficial life and work qualities that I've talked about, you can visit the links here on my handout, or you can contact me directly. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Are there any questions at this time?
Who's your favorite football team?
My favorite team is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
There's a lot of concerns about concussions these days. What do you think about football adding to the risk of concussions in young players?
Yeah, I think concussions are definitely a serious injury. The equipment is developing to better help prevent it, but it can also, the coaches teaching proper form is definitely a beneficial way to help prevent concussions in the youth.
Good. Good job. Time, please.
3:26.
Okay. Checking in on Spencer. How's it going, Spencer?
Okay, it's actually working now.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. That should do it.
Okay, when you're ready.
Already. I'm sorry. There. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm sure we all here share the same experience of trying to go out on a Friday night and we go to check our bank account and lo and behold, we don't have enough money left over due to our spending on Monday and Tuesday. Now, I personally kind of got tired of things like that happening to me, so I decided to do something about it. I decided to start investing. My name is Spencer Rubkowick, and I'm going to show you guys an introduction to the basics of investing. So essentially, investing breaks down into 3 pillars. You have why there's a need for it, how you go about maximizing your savings, and then how you go about multiplying those savings that you've saved up. So to start, why there's a need for investing. Essentially, there's a need for investing because you're investing in your future. Like I said before, the example of trying to go out on a Friday night and you can't because you spend all your money Monday and Tuesday. If we look at that as a microcosm for life, where Friday could be our retirement and we're 65, we want to go on vacation all the time. But now we can't because Monday and Tuesday, our 20s and 30s, we're too busy drinking, going out, having a good time, that we're suckering ourselves for later on in life, where on Friday, when we want to go on vacation, we can't. And we're not working to go on vacation anymore. We're working to just put food on the table. Another fundamental reason for investing is, I'm sure everybody here has a regular checking or savings account. But I bet you guys didn't know is that keeping your money in there is actually losing money. It's depreciating over time. And that's due to inflation. Inflation averaged over the last 3 years is around 1.94%, whereas the highest interest rate, savings interest rate I could find was 1.6% at BMO. So no matter what interest rate your bank is telling you you have, you're essentially depreciating your assets over time by not investing them fully. Now that you guys understand the fundamentals and why there's a need for investing, we have to look at how we can go about saving our money. So first, why is it so hard to save? And the simple answer is because no one wants you to. Over the last 20th century, credit cards, consumerism, and massive debt have had a huge spike that's just led to a consumeristic driven society where people are buying, and they're always wanting the new upcoming thing. But to be completely honest, it isn't that hard to flip the script on your consumption and start saving. It's really a trick of not increasing your savings, but decreasing your spending. A perfect example from the book, The Wealthy Barber by David Chilton. He's famous for being on Dragon's Den and making his investments and making his fortune. But one of the examples he uses is, what if everyone in the world was blind and you were the only one with the gift of sight? Do you really think that you'd spend all your money on those pointless things, like on pointless status symbols, designer shirts and stuff? No one's able to see it. So why are you pushing that forward? So now that you guys know how to maximize your savings, I'm going to go in how we can start capitalizing on those savings. I'm sure you guys have heard of compounding interest, but I bet you guys didn't know compounding interest is actually known as the 8th wonder of the world, according to Albert Einstein himself. Now, he said that because if we look, a 1% gain over 365 days, so you're increasing up 1% every day, That's 3,778% higher than where you originally started. So you're at almost 40 times better than where you started. And if we apply what we learned earlier from decreasing our consumption and increasing our savings, that over time is exponentially going to blow up. And where is it going to blow up? Where do we put that money? In a TFSA. A TFSA is a tax-free savings account and one of the best, if not the best, investing account in Canada. Since we already know a regular checking and savings account isn't sufficient, we need to put our money somewhere and where we can invest in stocks, bonds, etc. Now, one of the main purposes for the TFSA is that your withdrawals aren't being taxed. Since all your deposits are already taxed, any capital gains or withdrawals you get in there aren't being taxed when you withdraw, unlike an RRSP for your retirement. So now that you guys understand the fundamental need for investing, how to go about saving your money, and how to start capitalizing on your savings, I implore you guys to go to your bank, ask about a TFSA, ask about some financial planning, and set your future up for success. Are there any questions?
Yeah, did you invest at all in GameStop when it was on its rise?
No, sadly, but I'm sure some of you are familiar with the movie The Big Short, about the guy that kind of predicted the housing crisis. Matter of fact, he also predicted the GameStop rise, and he invested at $4 when it shot up to 400. So that's kind of ridiculous, and that's just kind of like an introduction on why you should keep investing at the forefront of your mind, because those 400% returns are 100% possible.
Good, thank you. And time.
4:57.
Ooh. Oops.
That's okay, you enjoyed talking about it. Okay, next up is Sandra. Just give me 1 second. I need to go let somebody in. I think, how do I do this? Be right back. Hi, Mateo, just letting you in now. Hi, Wissam, just letting you in now. Mateo, you're in me, and Wissam, you're in the TA. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Sandra.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can't see you yet, though.
Okay, can you see me now?
Yep, there we go.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yep, can see your screen.
Okay. Am I good to go?
When you're ready. Yep.
We all live in a life of uncertainty, where we're wired to expect the unexpected. But as living beings, we all share one common destiny. We are all going to die. So after this life, what happens to us? My name is Sandra Salvador. In a few short minutes, I will prove to you not only that ghosts exist, but have you second guessing every strange encounter you have ever had. There are many theories as to what happens to us after we die. However, the idea that the dead remain with us in spirit is an ancient one, appearing in stories from the Bible to Macbeth. But in order for these theories and stories to have come to light, there must have been life after this life. Otherwise, there would be no way for us to possibly contact people who have already died. The truth is, a lot of people have had encounters that they either can't describe or have experienced unexplainable, unusual, sights, sounds, and feelings that could only be caused by paranormal encounters. I believe in ghosts because they seem real at the time, despite what logic tells me later or what my parents have made me believe. First of all, think of all the usefulness. Alone in your bed, overwhelmed by your job, feeling lonely and depressed. You are in fact not alone. You have a friend with you. Yet, my point that ghosts are real is less about human perceptions and convictions and more about what's real and what's actually waiting on the other side. Sorry. If ghosts weren't real, it's doubtful that there would be so many ghost hunters and paranormal investigators, not to mention the many TV programs, blogs, and attractions devoted to ghosts. My fascination with ghosts began about 2 years ago when I came across a YouTube channel called Mindseed TV, run by paranormal investigator Casey Nolan. I've seen other ghost experiments all over YouTube, but none seemed as genuine as his. There are several various instruments that a paranormal investigator uses, as well as different experiments that operate, such as the Ovulus, the EMF detector, the spirit box, and the spirit box. Yet they still use one of the most classic ways of communication, the Ouija board. There are other gadgets and ways that they communicate or capture footage of these encounters, but I'll leave that for you to discover. So for those of you who are non-believers, I want you to ask yourself, why don't you believe in ghosts? Is it because the rational part of your brain is telling you, well, no, that's ridiculous? While you're lying in bed at night, you might be compelled to think about the rational sides of things. But what if you thought outside of the box? If I'm alone in my home and I hear door slam shut, and I decide it's a ghost, then I face my fears. My belief in spirits also relieves other concerns. I'd rather see a ghost in my house than a human serial killer. About half of the US population believes ghosts and demons exist. About 1/3 of the US population say that they've had an experience with ghosts, and just over 1 in 10 people say that they directly communicate with them. So tell me, do you really think ghosts don't exist when the odds are against you? Most paranormal investigators claim that in modern physics, good evidence for the presence of spirits and ghosts can be found. In fact, Albert Einstein, who is largely known as one of the most greatest brains of all time, provided the scientific basis for the existence of ghosts. John Kachuba, a ghost researcher, wrote a book back in 2007 called Ghost Hunters, where he writes, Einstein proved that all energy of the universe is constant and that it can neither be created nor destroyed. So in theory, what would happen to that energy when we die? If it cannot be destroyed, then it must, according to Albert Einstein, be transformed into another form of energy. What is that new energy? And could we call it a ghost? Professors and scientific researchers have tried to prove against this point, but what if there's another form of energy from the inside of the human body that is responsible for human conscious experience? Could such energy survive outside the body? Yes, in fact, it could. So you've got a few options here. Take a look at my facts and conclude that ghosts are real, shut down your computer and go back to your chaotic, ghostless life, or assume that ghosts may not be real, but in another sense they are. Thank you. I'm sorry, I totally forgot about my slideshow for like a hot second there. But I'm done.
Okay, don't forget to ask for questions.
Does anyone have any questions?
When did you start like actually researching that and finding all these theories or whatever? Like when did you, like what's the moment that changed like your mind, I would say, or like make you believe?
So a couple years ago, I was sitting in my bed on YouTube, and I always like had a fascination with horror movies. Like out of my friends, they'll always be like, hey, can you watch this for me and tell me if it's scary? Like I'm just one of those people. And I was watching and I came across one video, and it was by this YouTube channel, Mindseed TV. And since that moment, since I saw that first video, I've been like obsessed. Like it's all I do is just watch ghost videos. Like it's just so interesting to me that there could be an energy and a life outside of what we know that is around us and we can't even see it.
Okay, that's nice, I guess.
Good. Thank you very much. Time, please.
4:10.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sandra. And Kong Shao. Kong, you with us today? Okay, Yusuf. Yusuf, are you with us today? Yusuf Shamato?
Yes, sir. I'm just trying to get my stuff ready.
No problem. Okay, I can see your slides. I can't see you yet.
Yes, sir. I'm trying.
There you go. Now I can see you. Okay, when you're ready.
Hello, everyone. My name is Yusuf Simato, and today I'm going to talk about fragrances. I've been one of people who've been interested in trying many fragrances. Like I would go to department stores and then like department fragrance store, like Shoppers, and just smelling new fragrances and then try to order whatever I'd like. Because I believe fragrances, it's one of the stuffs that make your presence rememberable. Okay. Anyway, so perfume is a personal magic. It's a first impression and a lasting recollection. We always try to be perfect in every possible way, and part of it is our appearance and presence. Sorry. What I've learned throughout the years. I have learned through my past experiences that I have to find the right time and place for everything. Fragrances are the same thing. We must always find the right scent for any occasion. Every fragrance made for a certain type of occasion. So for example, I will be going into a party. I will put a cologne that fits that party, depending on what it is. Am I going with a party with a friend? I'm gonna put more sweet and stuff. But if I'm going, let's say in a business, I would say setting, I'll put very fresh, something that doesn't bother everyone, because I'm one of the people, if I walk into like a meeting and I see the person in front of me having a very strong, very like the scent will suffocate me. It's also be like, I'll choke on it, to be honest. Anyway, so here I'm gonna talk about which fragrances to use in this type of occasion, which fragrance to use in other type of occasions. So we'll start with the fresh and soapy fragrances. Fresh and soapy fragrances are the most versatile type of fragrances. You can use it literally everywhere. It's like the safe choice, I would say. So a couple of options would be like for men. I'll talk like I'll put for females and males. I'll put like many like option in here. But I would say like, because like I know more about like many fragrances, I would try like one of these two. Like these will be very nice fragrances, like fresh. This one could work too. And then I put a couple of fresh options in the bottom too for female. Anyway, it all depends on what notes it's been used in this kind of fragrance. So I would say in this one, they can use more of a citric, like citric notes like bergamot, lemon, notes like lavender, cedar, pineapple. These stuff could be like very light, very nice with every occasion. But I would use like this in more enough professional settings because it's very safe, like to use around everyone. No one will get bothered of it. And I don't use too much, especially in business settings. Anyway, we'll move on to sweet and spicy fragrances. Here, you can't use these fragrances at any time. These fragrances are made for certain occasions. Like, for example, this guy right here, Versace Eros. This is a very sweet, very spicy. This one is like, you can't wear it to a business setting. Everyone will be like just coughing. They can't handle it. It's very, very strong. This one is mostly used in I would say nighttime, mostly used in parties, like loud parties and stuff. This is a great one. It's an attention grabber. It's very nice at certain occasions. For example, they can use more apple, rose, tonka beans, cherry, and many other fruits. Mint could be used too. Those give us that very strong sweetness. Other option will be Dolce Gabbana, the one will be Jean Paul Gaultier Lama, L'Homme Ideal by Gore, and then here are a couple of options like Good Girl by Carolina Herrera for perfume, and then Giorgio Armani C. This is very strong one too. But these are all like nice, like it's very good. It's the best, but you can't use it everywhere. That's the thing about it. And there is that some people don't like to wear like different fragrances to different settings, so they choose one fragrance. That fragrance should be like should contain, it's between a fresh and between the sweet, at the like it's borderline sweet, but it's also fresh. This one is like those ones that you can use anytime and no one will get bothered. Like people always, some people like to use, like I say, a signature fragrance. Like this is my fragrance. I'm gonna wear it everywhere, every time. People will like associate that fragrance with you. Examples for this could be these, the ones, Dior Sauvage, could be one, Cru de Ventus, Bellon Bleu, Acqua di Gio, Bleu de Chanel, and for and then we have like, for example, Versace Crystal Bright, No 5 La U by Chanel, Versace Bellon Bleu perfume. If you notice, like some of them have like this perfume and perfume, so like for men and for women, made like at the same name but the same brand, but you know, different notes. Versace Yellow Diamond and Miss Dior. Thank you for your listening, and any questions?
Any questions?
What's your favorite kind of perfume?
My favorite will go with this one right here, Versace Bellon Bleu. It's very nice. It's a fresh, but at the same time, it gives like that warm vibe. So I can wear it everywhere. But I wear like different ones to different occasions. Like I have like many of them, and then I kind of collect them, and I have.
Good. Thank you very much. Time.
Thank you.
6:15.
Oh my God.
Okay. Thank you very much. Good job. Ronan Skeet, you're up. And following Ronan is Grant Spence.
Yeah, I'm here. I just give me like 1 second. I'm just setting it up.
Absolutely. Ronan, do you need a little bit more time?
Yeah, sorry. I have to do it off my phone and it's confusing me right now. Yeah, I just need a minute.
Well, hang on. Why don't we get Grant to go and then we'll.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay. Grant, are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
We'll put you next and then we'll track back to Ronan.
Okay. All good?
All good.
All right. All right. Have you ever bet someone $5 or lunch on who would win a football game? If you have, you just made a sports bet. Hello, everybody. My name is Grant Spence. I'm going to be talking to you guys about sports gambling. So some of the key points I'm going to go over today is what is sports gambling? I'm going to give you a quick history on it. I'm going to tell you how the payout system works for sports gambling. Where can you do it? Why do people sports gamble? And then the risks of sports gambling. So what is sports gambling? Sports gambling or sports betting is the activity of predicting a sports result or outcome and placing a wager on that outcome. Some of the things that you can bet on is a team to win a game, a team to score so many goals, a player to score a goal, an athlete to win a race. Will the coin toss be heads or tails? Will there be a streaker on the field? Quick history of sports gambling. So sports gambling dates back almost 2,000 years ago, where the Greeks started sports gambling on athletic competitions. The Greeks then brought it to the Romans, and the Romans eventually accepted it and even legalized it. So how does the payout system work? So basically the payout system is all about odds. So say your favorite team is the Dallas Cowboys and they're playing this given Sunday. This given Sunday, the Dallas Cowboys are predicted to win. That makes them the favorite. So Vegas has the odds set at a minus 170 for the Dallas Cowboys to win. That means for every $170 you place on the Dallas Cowboys, you will get $100 profit if they win. So let's say the next weekend you want to bet on the Dallas Cowboys again, but they're playing a much harder team this week. That means that they are an underdog. Vegas predicted them to lose. So that means their odds are a plus 145. That means for every $100 you placed on them, you will receive $145 profit if they win. So where can you sports gamble? The two main spots where you can sports gamble is number one, the casino. So lots of people, especially in Vegas, go right into the casino, go right up to the window. They go to the cashier. They say, I'd like to place a bet on this game, this much money, hand them the money. They'll print you a ticket. And then if you win, you come back to the casino with that ticket, and then they'll give you your money. The most popular way right now, by far, is mobile apps and websites. So you can hook up your Visa card or debit card right onto the account. And then you can look at all the different games, all the different sports. You can even bet on esports, anything you can think of. And instantly you click a game, place how much money, it comes right out of your account. And if you win, the money gets right back to your account.
3 minutes.
So why do people sports gamble? Two main reasons why people sports gamble. Number one, people think they can make money off sports gambling, which isn't very true. There's very few people in this world that do make a living off sports gambling, but lots of people think it's very easy and I can just make quick money like that. The main reason people sports gamble is entertainment. Let's say you place $5 on a sports game. It's going to make that game 10 times more exciting to watch because you're just not watching your favorite team. You're watching to see if your bet also hits. Even if it's called a boring game, you'll still be on the edge of your seat seeing if you're going to win your bet. So the risks of sports gambling. As long as you are wagering for fun and wagering the amount of money that you're prepared to lose, then sports gambling can be a great hobby and one that is endless fun. A lot of the risks come into play if you become a chaser. That means you lose one bet and right away you're like, I got to place another bet. I got to win my money back. I got to double what I just bet. I need to get all that money back. And that's where you can get in a lot of trouble and lose a lot of money. If you know anyone that has a gambling addiction, please take a moment and snap a picture of this slide. You could save someone's life. Lots of people lose their family, lose their house, lose their cars over gambling. It's a terrible addiction to have. So please snap a picture if so. Thank you very much for your time. At this time, I'm open to any questions you may have.
Have you made any profit off sports gambling?
No. I only do it occasionally, mostly for the entertainment factor. I've been probably doing it for 2 years, and I have not made money in those 2 years.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. And time.
4:35.
Okay, thank you. Going to track back to Ronan, see how things are going with him. Just want to remind everyone, please keep filling out the peer feedback forms. There was a few I noticed from Monday that we only had like 5 of them, probably because they were at the end of the presentation list. It's really important that your peers in your class get their feedback for their self-critique. Okay, Ronan, we can see you.
I don't know how good you guys can hear me. You guys can hear me?
Can hear you and see you, and can see the PowerPoint behind you there too.
Okay, so the PowerPoint is backwards because it's on the TV.
Right. No, it's perfect for us.
Okay.
When you're ready.
I'm about to manipulate every one of you. If you're listening to me right now, it means you're doing what I want you to do, which means I did what I said, and I manipulated you. My name is Ronan, and today I'm going to be talking about how to manipulate people and situations and what that means for your life. Manipulation is a tool that can be used in order to better understand the people around you in the world we live in. This helps you achieve your goals. In order to explain this and better your understanding of the concept, I have 3 points. Manipulation is not inherently immoral, and it's a regular part of our life. Power dynamics are everywhere and they need to be used. And pay attention to and be aware of the people around you. The foundation of what I'm going to tell you is built off the fact that manipulation itself is not an evil or immoral act. Where someone is, it's not an evil or immoral act where someone is always being taken advantage of. It's a part of life, and like any other tool, it can be used for good or bad. A perfect example of this can be found in childhood. Hopefully your parents taught you that drugs are bad. This was done with good intent. It is still a case of them manipulating your opinion in order to align with their own. Businesses use manipulation tactics to make us do what they want all the time. Their goal is for us to be consumers. And they do this by guiding our thoughts and desires to a state where we want what they have. They use tricks like colors, language, imagery, anything they can in order to achieve their goal. And to say this is unethical isn't true, it's marketing. Also, we manipulate each other almost every day, and often we don't even realize. When you ask your friend, would you rather go to McDonald's or Burger King? But you phrase the question, would you rather go to McDonald's or go to Burger King? You're using your voice to present McDonald's as the better option, therefore influencing your friend in order to make them choose what you want them to choose. This isn't being a bad person, it's just using a trick you learned to accomplish a goal. Power dynamics is the next thing that's important when discussing manipulation, and they exist everywhere, and so they need to be utilized. In every situation, someone has the power. Currently, I'm talking, so I have the power in the situation. To go further, the Prof has the real power since he could alter anything about the situation, and we would have to accept it as fact. Whoever's in control can use their power to manipulate things and get what they want. Someone with the obvious power in the situation can obviously do whatever they please. But those who appear to have no power in a situation actually have more than they realize. Those who appear to have no power can use this idea to flip the script and achieve what they want. Being underestimated is a gift. I said I have the power since you have to listen to me. But we could just as easily take that away by leaving this call, effectively taking away any power I had over you. My assumption that I had all the power means it's easier for you to manipulate the dynamic and get what you want. To really understand manipulation, you need to understand people. Always be aware of and pay attention to who is and what is happening around you. To be able to look at things from someone else's perspective and not just your own is crucial to being an effective manipulator. What does that person want at this specific point in time? And what can you do to give it to them? This will make their perspective of you positive, and thus, therefore, they're easier to manipulate. You also need to be able to ask the right questions and really listen to what's being said in order to properly understand how to use it. Someone may like video games, but the why is the escape from reality video games provide, which means I know to frame my interaction with this person as an escape to put them at ease and make them easier influenced. I hope now you see that manipulation is not innately evil, that it is really just a tool in our world. And in this world, there is always someone with power that can be used to accomplish a goal. And to accomplish a goal effectively, you need to be mindful of what is going on. Who are the players and what do they want? Manipulation is nothing more than an instrument to be used to achieve a deeper understanding of your world and get what you want from it. Now, next time you see an opportunity to get what you want, look at it differently. Analyze it, ask the right questions, and use this to get what you want from the situation. And then ask yourself, why shouldn't you get what you want all the time? Any questions?
Questions?
I don't know. Is there questions? I can't really hear that good.
It's a tough topic. It's a tough topic to ask questions about. Do you really believe that professors are manipulative in how they present their information?
I think everyone's manipulative. You manipulate us in order to get us to do what you want. You want us to do good, or you want us to do the homework, you want us to do the assignment. You use tools to manipulate us to do that.
All right. Okay. Time.
5:07.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Ronan. Adam Stevens, you're up.
All right, can you see that?
I can see it.
Okay. Hi, my name is Adam Stevens. Today I'm going to be talking to you about Tesla. Their current projects, they're building and opening new factories in Texas and India. Currently have factories in California, Nevada, New York, and China. They are currently developing solar panel roofing tiles. They offer plaid versions of the Model S and Model X, and they have a set goal of selling and delivering 500,000 cars a year. Projects they have in the future, they plan to make a car that only costs $25,000 and includes autopilot. They plan to have this in 3 to 4 years. They want to build more gigafactories to help car and battery production. They plan to sell 20 million cars per year before the year 2030. They plan to have all factories run by solar power. Future product expansions for the company. Tesla Cybertruck is in its final stages of design and before mass production. Prototypes of a Tesla transport truck have been made and will be produced in the future. They'll have new supercars like the Roadster that should be coming out next year. More solar energy products and energy storage systems. Tesla has made some investments. Just recently, they bought 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, which could be a very successful investment for the future. Tesla also partnered with different lithium-ion mining companies to help make cost of lithium much cheaper. Tesla has acquired different battery making companies like Panasonic to help produce their batteries in the future. The Tesla stock today, Tesla's increased over 700% in 2020 and looks to continue growth into the future. Analysts predict Tesla could be worth anywhere from 3,000 to 7,000 per share in 5 years, and even 10,000 plus in 10 years. Tesla is valued at around 700 US shares today. Those are all my reference. So basically, this is just kind of information because about 8 months ago, I was also looking to invest in the stock market, and Tesla was one of the companies that I looked at. This is just one of them. So if you guys are interested in investing in stocks, this is a company I recommend you look at. Are there any questions?
Did you end up investing in Tesla when you were looking at it?
Yeah, I did. I bought it around somewhere at 350. I kind of bought it at different points. I've made a little bit, but I still won't sell it for 5-10 years, something like that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When you bought the stock, did you buy it before or after the reverse split?
The split?
Yeah.
I bought it the day it split because it became
okay.
cheaper because it was too expensive for me before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good, thank you. Any question? I mean, sorry, time, please.
2:26.
Great. Next up is Josh Tatum.
Yep. All right, can you guys see everything all good?
I can see you and I. Yep, I can see your PowerPoint too.
Good.
You're good to go.
All right, so hi guys, my name is Josh, and today I'll just be going over the topic of fitness supplements, and more specifically, the 2 best ones that I think you should be taking. Now, before I get too deep into that, it's important that you know what fitness supplements even are. There's no like cookie cutter way of explaining it. It's just really any type of dietary supplement that you can use to help you achieve your fitness goals. So for different people, that could be different things. For some people, it could be who are trying to put on muscle, it could be like a whey protein or creatine monohydrate. Whereas for some people who are just trying to be healthier and improve their well-being, it could be something like glucosamine, which is good for your joint health, or fish oil or something like that. So the first of the top 2 supplements that I think you should personally be taking is whey protein. Now, this is easily the most basic thing you could possibly think of. There's nothing special about it. It is exactly what it say it is, which is protein. All the calories that you would be consuming from eating this stuff are from protein. Like there's not really a whole lot of other things in there unless you decide to buy a cheaper one. Now, it's incredibly good for people who are trying to eat a lot of protein in their daily diet without like trying to eat too many calories. Because for someone who is trying to put on muscle and trying to eat like 200 grams of protein a day, for example, it can be you can be consuming a lot of calories while trying to do that. But if you supplement with protein, then protein powder anyway, then you can minimize the amount of calories while maximizing the amount of protein that you are intaking. And it's also very convenient. It takes about 30 seconds to mix it up with some water, some milk or whatever. You shake it and then you just drink it and enjoy it. Now, a lot of them don't taste very good if you decide to buy a cheaper one, but if you go more expensive, they actually are quite enjoyable to be drinking. And then next up, we got fish oil, and more specifically, omega-3 fatty acids. Now, I can stand here and talk for hours about the different benefits that it has on your health, but a few examples are it's great for your skin, it's great for your hair, it prevents cardiovascular disease. It definitely adds a bunch of years to your life by supplementing with it for a long period of time. They're very cheap actually. If you just go to like Walmart or something and go to like there's a section with like a bunch of pills like on the shelves and you find it, you can buy a bottle of it for like $15 and it'll last you like 3 months or so.
3 minutes.
And yeah, they're really easy to take. Now, unfortunately, a lot of them have a really bad fishy aftertaste. Like, so yeah, that's not too pleasant when you wake up in the morning and you just eat a bunch of pancakes or something, and then you take your fish oil, and then you like, yeah, it's it's not too fun to experience that, but it is what it is. And then, yeah, so that basically concludes my presentation. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And otherwise, I hope that you learned something from it.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on creatine?
Yeah, so creatine, I was debating whether I should put that in this or not. Yeah, I think it's a great supplement. It's obviously heavily researched. I think it's the most researched thing on the market. I personally take it. I've seen great results from it, but yeah.
And do you get concerned at all about the protein? You don't think, you're just thinking the whey protein doesn't have very much like bad stuff in it. It's just pure protein is what you're thinking for that?
Yeah, if you take too much of it, then yeah, you may experience some unpleasant bowel movements, to say the least. But yeah, for the most part, it's just pure protein. Like, you shouldn't have any issues with it.
Okay, excellent. Good job. Time, please.
3:30.
Okay, we are running out of time here. Kyle, Devlin, and Jacques,
yeah.
Are you available to stick around for a little bit longer?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I can.
Jacques Shu?
Yeah, I'm Jacques. Yeah, I can.
Okay, great. So everyone else, you can leave if you like. You can stick around and listen to the 3 other presentations, or you can take off. It's your choice. If you take off, remember please that there is the writing assignment, the writing diagnostic number 2 that is due today at 11:59, and your self-critique is due 1 week from today. So starting today, you have 1 week. So Wednesday, again at 11:59 p.m. That's it. Have a great weekend, everyone, and we'll talk to you soon.
Sir, do you want me to stay for timing?
If you can, that would be fantastic.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Just have to go over to the breakout room for a second, and I'll be right back. Hi, Tuba, are you still here? Hi, Tuba. Wissam, are you here now? Okay, hi. So we should have Kyle, Devlin, Jackie, and Wissam. Wissam, are you here?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Okay, so Wissam, sorry that we didn't get you back into the TA room. It's just hard for me to leave my room while I'm marking the other half of the class.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, no worries, sir.
So I'm going to mark you instead.
Okay.
So you 4, and Raina, you're here too, right, to do the timing?
Yes, I'm here.
Awesome, thank you so much. So what you're going to do is you're not going to get your peer feedback, but you will use my feedback on the grading to do your self critique. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so first up is Kyle.
Okay. Can you see me?
Yep, I can see you.
Perfect. And then share. Can you see my presentation or no? Not yet.
Nope, not yet.
Okay, it's giving me a privacy. It says, 1 second. Do you mind if I go after someone? Because I just have to, it says it's blocked. So I have to open.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't we do Devlin? So Devlin, you're up.
Okay.
There we go.
Just let me get my presentation up and running.
Sure. You got kicked down to the basement, did you?
Yeah.
I worked in the basement too. Okay, I can see your PowerPoint.
Okay. Did you know that a small piece of cardstock was recently sold for more than $500,000? This is an Alpha Black Lotus, a very rare Magic the Gathering card signed by now dead magic artist Christopher Rush. There are only 1,100 of these in existence, and this is in pristine condition. Hello, my name is Devlin Weldon, and today I'll be talking about why you should play Magic the Gathering. It's fun, can be challenging at sometimes, and is a good social experience. Magic the Gathering is a trading card game where you are a planeswalker, a sorcerer able to cast spells and use mana. The aim of the game is to harness the land's magic in order to cast your spells and reduce your opponent's life total from 20 to 0. There are 5 different colors of mana, the first of which being white, representing law and order. The second of which being blue, representing knowledge and control. The third being black, representing taboo and death. The fourth, red, representing emotion and anger. The fourth being green, representing nature and simplicity. Sorry. The idea is that you harness the land's magics in order to cast your spells. Many different spells exist, more than 20,000. There are creature spells that you can summon, each of which being different colors, all having different effects. There are instants and sorceries that you can cast, which can do devastating damage to your opponents. You can create artifacts, which will have a different effect depending on how you play your cards right. You can enchant things that may inhibit your opponent from performing things that they would like to do. Each spell and creature affects the board in many different ways, all of which can have a very impacting effect on the game. Magic the Gathering is often compared to chess and poker, with a lot of pro players having a lot on the line riding for them. Just last year, the Pro Magic the Gathering National Championship was hosted online due to COVID restrictions. Austin Bershevich went on to win 25 grand as first place victor. Sorry, I'm blanking. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's take a look back at the roots of the game. These are alpha cards. These were what Richard Garfield created the game in 1993 in the University of Pennsylvania. This is the first alpha tester, Barry Reich. Everybody knew when this game was first released that it was going to take over their lives, and they were right. Magic the Gathering today now has more than 30 million players in 70 different countries. Magic the Gathering is a very social aspect of the game too. With COVID restrictions being in place, that is not the case today, but many Friday nights I would go to my local game store, talk with people, have some games, and have a very positive social experience. It allowed me to make friends and increase my time talking to people. Some of the most memorable moments of my life have been playing this game. If you would like to learn how to play, you can go to magic.wizards.com/MTG Arena to play for free on Mac, PC, or Android. The game will teach you everything that you need to know about the game. Thank you. Any questions?
How long have you been playing?
I've been playing this game for about 7 years now.
And has it taken over your life?
Not as much as other nerdy aspects, but it's always been there.
Okay, good job. Thank you. Time, please.
4:21.
Okay, thanks, Devin. Kyle, how's it going there on the technology front? Kyle, can you hear me? Okay, we'll track back to Kyle. JK.
Yeah, so can you hear me and see me?
I can hear you and see you.
Okay.
It's JK Shu, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Got your.
Is the PowerPoint okay now?
I can see your PowerPoint. Yep. You're good to go whenever you would like.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. When mentioned the politics of China today, what words will appear in your mind? A lack of transparent legal system, authoritarianism? If you keep up with current events, you may know that Canada has recently accused China genocide. I'm Kai. I've been a scholar in the past 7 years, majoring in political philosophy and Asian Chinese philosophy. Today, I hope I can share with you some knowledge about my previous major. Maybe you can see how different Asian China is from today. The first example I want to share with you is from a lore that was around 200 BC. Putting aside what we would find cruel today, I'm not going to discuss the content of lore in detail. You just need to, sorry about this. Yeah. You just need to know the crime commitment and the corresponding penalty have been described in every detail. In addition to the content displayed, if an official commits the same crime, the punishment will be heavier. If the offender is young or old, they will be commuted sentence. Although this is not a law that conforms to modern values, its level of details is still surprising. All judge will only be able to judge cases according to the law without any discretion. And please remember, the time is 200 BC. The second example comes from the most important book of Chinese history, Book of Change. The meaning of this sentence is, no matter how good the system is, it still needs to be maintained by the right people. Oh, this is an amazing sentence. Political science always focus on the design of political system. For example, they believe the origin of modern philosophy, modern politics, is Max Weber's bureaucracy. But I think it's hard to forget that Adolf Hitler, sorry, no offense, it's hard to forget that Adolf Hitler was the leader elected by people under a democratic system. We often discuss politics and economics today, but few people are willing to discuss virtues and civic literacy. This leads us to the third example, from the Analects. It is a book about words and deeds of Confucius, the greatest Chinese philosopher more than 2,000 years ago. And the meaning of this sentence is, if people are capable, then let them manage themselves. If they are not, educate them. Civic literacy. If the people do not receive enough education, no matter how good the political system is, it will collapse. The citizens of ancient Athens voted to execute the general who defended them city-state, and also they voted to exile Socrates, who wished to teach them to know, to understand. If they have a bad education, they may not so easily influenced by emotions. In general, history and philosophy are like the potential of a nation. These good political ideas did not appear today. Doesn't mean they don't exist. By understanding history and philosophy, we can see the complexity of a nation and avoid getting stuck in stereotypes. Personally, I hope the rulers of China today can learn more from their ancient Chinese philosophers. That's all, and thank you for listening. Are there any questions?
Good job. Any questions? Aristotle said that a benign dictatorship was the best form of government. What do you think of that?
Sorry, sir. I have some answers here, but there are several words I want to use to answer your question, but I don't know how to say it in English.
Okay, that's okay.
Yeah, there's different forms of government, but they all have the benefit side and the bad side. There's some contents discussed about this. Yeah.
Absolutely. Good. Okay. Good job. Time, please.
3:47.
47. Fantastic. Okay, good job. Wissam. Let's go to Wissam and then we'll track back to Kyle again. Just keep saying that so I don't forget Kyle. Wissam, you there still? Okay, there we go.
Can you hear me, sir?
Yep, I can hear you, and I can see your slides too.
Okay. Did you know that the quickest and most powerful SUV was made right across the border in Detroit? Hey everyone, my name is Sam Nallo, and today I'll be telling you about the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk. Now, when many people hear Jeep Grand Cherokee, they immediately think of the family SUV. But my message to you today is that this is no standard family SUV. This is the fastest mass-produced SUV ever made in the world. I have 3 reasons I will show you why the Trackhawk is different and unique by comparing its lower trim levels, its competitors, and the insane world records it has set. My first point will be comparing the Trackhawk to its lower trim levels, specifically the Laredo. The Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo is the lowest trim level you can get, and it has a starting price of $43,874, while the Trackhawk has a whopping starting price of $104,679, which is almost 2.5 times more than the price tag. The Laredo comes with a normal duty suspension, which is a standard option on all Grand Cherokees. This is perfect for everyday trips, but the Trackhawk comes with a competition suspension because it is much heavier due to the bigger engine and it needs more stability for the higher speeds that it travels. The Laredo comes with a 3.6-liter V6 engine, while the Trackhawk comes with a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine, offering 290 kilometers per hour with a 0 to 60 speed in 3.5 seconds. When comparing the Trackhawk to its competitors, it dominates them when it comes to price and power differences. When we compare the Trackhawk, which is a $104,000 SUV, to the Lamborghini Urus, which is a $280,000 SUV, there's a big price difference. But when you compare the two SUVs, that doesn't seem fair because the Trackhawk is much quicker off the starting line and it has a quicker 0 to 60 speed. The Trackhawk comes with a 6.2-liter supercharged V8 engine offering 707 horsepower, while the Lamborghini Urus, which is more than 2.5 times the price of a Trackhawk, comes with a 4.0 twin-turbo V8 engine offering 650 horsepower, which is 57 horsepower less than the Trackhawk. Yet many people choose to go with the Urus just because it's more luxurious and it's more known. If I were given the choice between a Trackhawk and a Urus, I'd personally go with the Jeep, just because it looks much more aggressive and it has so much more power to offer. And here's a short video of a Trackhawk versus the Urus in a drag race. The Trackhawk has set 2 world records, which is a big achievement for Jeep, because many people look at Jeep and immediately think about the family SUVs. Yet, they were able to prove them wrong by coming out with the Trackhawk. The Trackhawk currently holds a record for the fastest SUV on ice, with a top speed of 208 kilometers per hour. They achieved this by shipping the car out to South Serbia and participating in an event on Lake Baikal, which is the deepest lake in the world. The next world record is going to sound insane, but it does exist. There's an aftermarket firm known as Hennessy, which tunes muscle and sports cars. They strapped a 6-foot Christmas tree on top of the Trackhawk, and it managed to hit a top speed of 209 kilometers per hour, with the Christmas tree still attached to the top of it. Today, I showed you why the Jeep Grand Cherokee Trackhawk is different yet special by comparing its lower trim levels, its competitors, and the insane world records it has set. What I'd like for you to do is next time you're on the road and you see a Jeep Grand Cherokee, try to figure out if it's a Trackhawk by looking at the subtle differences it has compared to its lower trim levels and by listening to that beautiful 6.2-liter V8 engine. Thank you for your time. Does anyone have any questions?
What struck your interest in Jeeps?
Honestly, 2 summers ago, I was in California and I was visiting my cousins, and my cousin had actually just bought one, and we went on a trip, and just right there, I fell in love with it. But just by the way it was driving, just sounds, it just looks beautiful, and it's an awesome car.
Do you have a Jeep?
Oh, go ahead.
No, I don't. It's my dream car, though.
Okay, good job. Time?
4:06.
Great. Okay, last but not least, Kyle. You still there, Kyle? Did we lose Kyle altogether? We lost Kyle altogether. Okay, let me just see if I can find him. Just give me 1 second. Hi, Kyle. I'm going to throw you back into the breakout room. Give me 1 sec.
All right, thanks.
Okay, we've got Kyle back.
Yeah. Do you want me to go now?
Yep, you're up.
Do you see that, Professor?
Yes, except Gretzky's wearing the wrong uniform.
Yeah, it's only one I could find.
Okay, when you're ready.
All right, perfect. Every once in a while, an evolutionary professional sports player comes around. When thinking of professional sports teams in North America, our minds tend to look more in depth and identify a professional player that made an impact towards a franchise. For example, when we look at the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan then pops into your head because of the way he changed the game of basketball. Hello, everyone. My name is Kyle Walker, and today I'll be discussing the way Austin Matthews changed the Toronto Maple Leafs franchise and will continue to make more changes in a beneficial way. My message to you today is that I strongly believe that Austin Matthews will continue to hold as a franchise player every year for the rest of his career. In my presentation today, we will look at 3 ways that Austin Matthews is changing the franchise. Number 1, we will look at his winning percentage. Number 2, we will look at his stats. And thirdly, we will look at his unique hockey traits. Firstly, his winning percentage. The year before Austin Matthews was drafted, their winning percentage was a 421% in 2015-2016. Then Matthews' rookie season, Toronto ended up with a 579 percentage in 2016-2017, a 158% difference, which led them to the playoffs for the first time in 4 years. Matthews' winning percentage on faceoffs have been a key factor towards the success in the goal scoring area. He was averaging 55.7 in his first few seasons as a Leaf. Secondly, we look at the stats. Matthews' amazing first year as a rookie did not go unnoticed as he joined an elite group of Hall of Famers, including Dale Howard-Chuck and Mario Lemieux, with an impressive number of 40 goals in his rookie season. Matthews also had the highest shot per goal percentage in the history of the Toronto Maple Leafs, sitting at a 16.2 average goal per shot. Matthews continues to show the world his ability to score from everywhere with an impressively start to the season, averaging a goal a game. And finally, we look at his unique hockey trait. When you think of a professional hockey player, you tend to focus on what they excel in. When it comes to Austin Matthews, one thing that comes to mind is that great shot of his. It is undeniably the best shot in hockey now. Matthews is well known for his offensive ability, but is a serious threat when it comes to his defensive ability of taking away opponents' pucks. He leads in most categories for defensive takeaways throughout the entire league. Today, I have showed you 3 points to why Austin Matthews is a franchise player with his winning percentage, his great stats, and his unique hockey traits, all playing key factors towards the greatness in Austin Matthews. Here's a small clip of one of Austin Matthews' goals.
3 minutes.
One last rush for the Leafs. 7 seconds. Here's Kapanen. Matthews, time winding, got it, scores! Austin Matthews with 2.
Therefore, Austin Matthews continues to prove to the world why he is a franchise player with his high expectations to the Toronto Maple Leafs fan base and will continue to prove himself throughout a successful career. Thank you. And if there are any questions, please go ahead.
I've got a burning one.
Yes.
Who do you think is better, Matthews or McDavid?
Well, in that aspect,
keep in mind that I'm an Oilers fan, so your chances of passing this course depends on how you answer this question.
Overall, I do believe McDavid is better than Matthews, but they're 2 different types of players. Both players have better aspects towards each other. Well, McDavid, his skating is a lot better than Matthews, but Matthews, his shot is a lot better. They both bring different aspects to the team that are both franchise players. So,
good answer. Okay.
To answer your question, I do believe McDavid is slightly better.
Good. Okay. Time, please.
3:35.
Okay.
Do we just click stop share? Yeah.
Yep. And then just turn your video off.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the Zoom meeting. Oh, there it is. I had so many tabs open.